Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for the love that you've been showing me in my previous video. I really do appreciate it, especially if you do take your time to comment and like my videos. Thank you so much. And people who share it in their stories, their WhatsApp, their everything, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Today I've come in very cozy, not my usual pink jacket. I've missed it though. And then coffee. Today I have coffee. Whether I'm gonna sip it on set, let's wait to find out. So today I just wanted to come here and just talk about something really that's been happening in my life the past week. I've really had an interesting 2 weeks. I've been very fatigued. I've just been very fatigued, and the whole point is I have been feeling like I've pivoted so much. Like it's always one thing after another, especially, and this is just career. This is not even like the normal social life and whatever. Like I feel like I've pivoted so much, and at some point it just became very exhausting, and I was like, okay, when is this process going to trust me? Yeah. And then I just got overwhelmed this week. But now that I've figured things out, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I can now come and talk about it, so that if there's anybody else who's experiencing pivoting fatigue in their career, basically in layman's language, I don't even know if pivoting fatigue is like a word, it's like a phrase really, but it's like maybe you used to be in digital marketing and then you realize that, oh yeah, I want to do SEO writing, and then now you pivoted from SEO writing and whatever. But anyway, let me just explain to you my own story, and maybe you'll get it. So after Form 4, when I was done, let's just track back a little bit. Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to be on camera. I mean, I am on camera right now, but not on this camera. I wanted to be on TV. I think the only other time I ever changed my career was one time I wanted to be a lawyer. That was the only time that I wanted to change a career. And so I knew very early on that I wanted to be probably a news anchor, a journalist, anything, the next Lilian Muli, the next Betty Kello, and whatever. I really wanted to do that, and I set my mind to that. And if we went to school together, you will realize that the languages that I used to perform really well were English, literature, Kiswahili, because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be bothered by this mathematics, calculus. Who is that? I don't want to do calculus. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a pilot even. I want to be a news anchor. Do you know what I need to be a news anchor? I just need to get my languages right, get into Daystar. Great skill, that one. Get into Daystar, and then I will be a news presenter. So that is what I really wanted. So when I was done with Form 4, because that's high school, because my mom was ahead of her time, she said, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take you to do a psychometric test. A psychometric test basically is something that you take your child, or take yourself, now that you're an adult, you're in charge of your life. You can go and pay money. It's a lot of money. Back then it used to be close to 20,000, and it's was it a 2-day thing or a 1-day? I can't even remember. So my mom was like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to take you to do a psychometric test, because I do not want you hopping from one career to another, or rather, if you're gonna hop from one career to another, I want it to be because it's within the umbrella of the things that you're really good at, because my mom believes in doubling down on things that you're good at. I was like, chill, yeah, let's go. No, that's not what I was like. I didn't have an option. I mean, I'm in an African parent household. So I went, and it was really nice. We went, we did the psychometric. Right now, it could be way more expensive right now, or way cheaper, because maybe there are a lot of people who do those. And then I got my list of careers. They ask you really intriguing questions and personality questions and whatever, so that you get to go into careers that you're really good at. So obviously, I had a bunch of careers that I would incline towards, and one of those careers was computer science, tech. And then I remember there was marketing there, and then there was journalism. I think I had a list of 6. Also there was graphics design, because I remember after that the conflict was okay, should I go to Shangtao? If you remember that, during that time, should I go to Shangtao, or should I, what should I pick? But then I was like, you know what, I have all these careers in one basket. That's the whole point of a psychometric test. You have all these careers in one basket, so you could just blindly pick anything and leave, and voila, you're good at that. So during that time, because I was just done in the high school, and in high school I started developing this interest in computer, because I used to do computer science, not computer science, I used to do computer science, I used to do computer studies. Yeah, because I did not want to do business. I was just not interested in business. Catch me there doing agriculture. No, I was not interested in that. Not that agriculture is bad, but asking me for 8 points so that you can give me 2 marks, thank you, no. So I went and did, so I chose computer studies. So when I chose computer studies, I was really interested in computer. If you know, Immobilis Institute of Technology, so yeah, it's a school in Westlands that offers tech courses. During that time, it was really good. I don't know about now. I decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna go to Immobilis and do mobile app development. Yeah, it was a mobile app development. I think we were doing mobile app development, a bit of website dev, and then I extended my time and I did Windows development. So during that time, what languages were we studying? Yeah, we did JavaScript, and then I did C# for Windows, and I really loved it. I was good at it. I was really good at it. I got a trophy. Yeah, I had really cool projects. I was really good at that. So after that, I did not get enough guidance to how to like proceed in tech. You know, I didn't have anybody to mentor me. And then at that very moment, there's this lecturer. The only lecturer during that time that I could really talk to also had left the institution, so there was really no way of keeping tabs. So I was like, oh yeah, this is just one of these other courses that I've done. It's in my pocket now. Let me go. There are people who we went to Immobilis with. They continued. They're doing really well. I was gonna mention one of the names, but then I was like, oops. Yeah, they're really, especially the guys, like they're really, really, really doing well in whatever it is that they're doing. So after that, I was like, okay, yeah, I've ticked this bucket, so let's go to uni so that I can go and do my media studies, study electronic media, so that I can be a news anchor. Like, thank you so much for this opportunity. And I remember my parents kept on asking me, are you going to use this certificate? And I'm like, maybe a time will come. Let me just go to Daystar first. I do not regret going to Daystar. If anything, I would do Daystar again 10 times, even with the same people, with the same group of friends. So I went to Daystar ready to become the next Lilian Muli, and that is my first pivot there, from tech to media. So now I've pivoted. I'm in Daystar. I'm really good. I'm good at what I do. I was in school, a lot of shortcuts, but like I was in school, I'm good at what I'm doing. I'm loving this thing. I'm in first year. We're doing the generals, the electives and whatever. But now as you progress, now you start getting into your classes and whatever. I said at that very moment, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do electronic media. And also, let me just mention this and put it as a star. I also used to be very good at writing, still am. You can follow me on my LinkedIn, by the way. You see, I really do a lot of storytelling. I am still good at writing. I don't know why I keep on saying I used to be. It's something that comes really naturally to me. So, but then at that very moment, I wasn't going to do print media because I was like, yeah, I'm really good at this thing. Let me just go and study electronic media, laser focus. I'm trying to be the next Lilian Muli. Have you ever read a column by Lilian Muli? No. So I'm trying to be Lilian Muli at this very moment. So like now I go to Daystar. School is fun. It's a private institution. The classes are really, we have like few students per class. So the lecturers can give you attention. That is something that I really, really valued about that. Because sometimes after like you've narrowed, sometimes you are 30 people in class and that's really good. Joined even radio station to just practice, you know. I'm just practicing. I used to have a Canva show there. There's another show that I used to do called Audio Relapse. I did a dating show over there. Like I was having the time of my life. One thing about the university, I utilized my school fees. At some point, I was even playing table tennis, utilizing my school fees. But then something started happening something happened in second year, the last semester. I got into the top story investigative journalism competition. The top story investigative journalism competition was airing, I think on NTV or KTN, I actually do not remember. And I remember when I interviewed for that, I was really excited about it because I'm like, yeah, this is the path towards where I am going. And I was very excited, very pumped, packed my bags. The competition was actually in Mombasa. So like basically the gist is a group of schools would come together. We would do competition in journalism and whatever. And then yeah, we would go there and compete. So I was in a group of great minds, you know, I think they're still, all of them are in media. I know one of the guys that I was with, he's a really great news anchor in Hope TV. The other girl that I was in has this beautiful voice. She has a podcast. I don't remember the name, but she has a podcast. And yeah, I don't know what she's doing right now, but like she was excellent, you know. They were like a class or 2 classes ahead of me, something of that sort. I don't remember. When I got to Mombasa, I was really, really excited. You know, that time, like, I've never been to a newsroom. Like, I had been to newsrooms before, but like, I had never been to a newsroom in the sense that I am the one now working in the newsroom. I've never had that experience. I had been to TV shows severally. There's a time, there's this guy called Brian Aseli. Right now he's in Nation. He used to have a show called Youth Cafe, and like, he had invited me and my boy Sefa severally to go to the news. So like, I had been on camera before, and every time I used to go, I was like, I'm gonna come back here. I even have a photo of myself. Like, I had taken a photo inside of, like, in front of the KTN logo and whatever. I was pumped for this thing. I was born for this thing, and that is what I believed I was born for. I had even gone for a tour in BBC. I remember, let me tell you, I was into this media thing. Like, during class, there's a lecturer of mine, God bless you, Mr. Nathan Masambu. He used to tell me, I see you in BBC. I didn't make it, sir, but yeah, I see you in BBC. Musu, you should be in BBC. You know, you're really good. And I was like, yeah, thank you very much. I was like, yeah, if my lecturer can see it, then this is what I was meant to be. So we go to the BBC, we go to the top story competition. When I get there, the first assignment, I'm not excited about it anymore. I'm like, I don't feel excited. I mean, everybody else is excited, but I am not excited about it at all. And then I said, you know what, from Athi River to Mombasa, maybe I'm just tired, you know, I'm just fatigued. So maybe because it was a week, I think it was a full week. So I was like, you know what, maybe by like Tuesday, Wednesday, I will have found it. No, I never found the spark. I actually never found the spark. And I was never excited about journalism anymore. And it was that very moment that I realized that, wow, I am not excited about journalism. This is not something that I want to do for the rest of my life. I mean, I'm good at it, but it's not bringing me any joy. Even like the tasks that I was picking during that time, I was like, yeah, I'm going to write for you. The girl was she told you she has a really great TV voice, radio voice, anything voiceover voice, she has it. So she would do the voiceovers, and then she would edit, and then Kennedy Kimani would report. Like, he really loved it. And then there was me now, who now would like write the articles and whatever. And it was at that moment I realized, like, you know what, this is not my thing. And I kept on gaslighting myself, and I kept on telling myself, because I think Dennis Okari was there, and also other media personalities were there. And because I knew when they would speak, I was like, you know what, maybe when Dennis Okari speaks, just maybe when Dennis Okari speaks, I will feel very enlightened. At that time, he had done a very big documentary. And then I listened to Dennis Okari talk. Great media personality, by the way. I listened to him talk, and I was like, wow, that's not my life. I don't want to do that. So the entire week, I knew that I didn't want to be a journalism anymore. I didn't want to be in journalism anymore. But then, obviously, I pulled my weight. We performed really well, actually. And then we went back to school. So when I went back to school now, I started thinking, so now what will I pivot to? So I decided that, now since I've decided that I'm not going to be in electronic media, I do not want to be in front of a camera anymore. I'm still on radio station. I'm going to still do it as a hobby. I need to go to the registrar and probably do print media. I said, you know what, I'm really good at writing. I don't have to figure anything out right now. Let me just go and add another concentration. I will just be writing. Yeah, it's something that I love that. And it's like, yeah, maybe I could write news. I could write articles. I mean, yeah, I'm good. So I went to the registrar, added the concentration. I think you paid some money, and then that was it. And then I went to class. When I went to class, now we are writing, but then we are writing news. And I'm like, yeah, this is not what I signed up for. But the classes that we were writing, like creative writing, making children's storybooks, those ones were really good. Q again, Mr. Nathan Masambu told me that you really do write well. I see you as a writer. You should really write. Like you were actually meant for this thing. During that time, I started feeling like, okay, now the crisis now hit. I'm like, okay, now I need to figure it out. Now, what do I do? Life is so private. Nobody knows that some people do know, but nobody knows that I switched my major to computer science and just for a week. No, never attended any class. I switched to computer science for like a week and then switched back to media. So during that time, I was like, you know what, maybe I could just go back to computer science. So I pivoted again to computer science, and then I pivoted back to media school. And then at some point, I got a remote role. It was paying me really well, a US remote role when I was in uni. It was digital marketing. So now I pivot again to digital marketing. I said, you know what, maybe let me just do this digital marketing thing. So I started doing digital marketing. I started doing SEO writing. And then after uni, obviously for my internship, I went to Doctors Without Borders. It was still digital communication stroke still communication. The internship was really great. Loved my time in Doctors Without Borders, but every single time I used to tell myself that I know I don't want to be here. I'm good at this thing that I'm doing. I'm performing, I'm pulling my weight, because one thing about me, even if I don't like being somewhere, I'm gonna pull my weight. So I pulled my weight, and then at some point I was like, you know what, I don't like this thing. So what is something that I could do? I started looking back. I'm like, hey, I did digital marketing, SEO rating, or whatever. I've been in digital marketing for quite some time. So should I start my own agency? I started my own agency. No, I didn't start. I started making my own website. I made like a full website with like the entire brand kit. I copyrighted the whole website and whatever. I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready. Like, this is what I'm going to actually be doing. But then I started also hesitating. And then at some point I just said, you know what? I don't think I want to do this. My life is a lot of series of like, I don't think I want to do this. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm actually not going to do digital marketing. So I realized at that very moment, I was like, I want to be in tech. I started toying with the idea, but also I don't want something in tech that is so far removed from the things that I've been doing. And in between toying that idea and finishing up my website, I got a heartbreak. That was a very bad heartbreak. By the way, this video is not about that, but that was like, actually, come to think about it, could have died. That was a really, really terrible heartbreak that I got right there. So in between, you know when you're heartbroken, you don't feel like sleeping. Okay, at least me, I don't feel like sleeping. And also during that time, I'd never been heartbroken like that ever since in my life. I was just a girl. I was just a young girl. I'd never been I used to believe people so much. I still do. In between the sadness and whatever, I'm trying to be heartbroken over here, feel my feelings, and I'm also trying to. But then I was so heartbroken. I'm just gonna mention this once. I was so heartbroken. The heartbreak woke me up one day at 3 a.m. with no alarm. Guess what I woke up to do? So that you know I'm very unserious. I woke up and I sang myself what's that song? I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me. I sang myself that song. I still have that video, but I'm telling you, not even the FBI, not even the American government can get me to show you that video. I still have it though. If you're friends, if you're cool like that, ask me for that video. Might send you. I'll charge though. So in between that, I woke up at 3, sang for myself, and then that evening, I remember that evening I couldn't sleep literally. I was like, you know what? Since I want to merge with digital marketing and tech, let me find somewhere where they meet. And that I did. And I went and searched this article, and it came digital, and it was data science. It was data science and marketing. And so I started reading that article. I had never heard about data science during that time. I went into a rabbit hole of that data science thing. I searched what makes a good data scientist, what makes a bad data scientist. I got all the information, and I was like, you know what, this feels home. Actually, this is what I want to do. What is that? Pivoting again. So I said goodbye to my digital marketing career. I do not want you anymore. Goodbye. Thank you. So I started working on my data science, and I was very serious about it, by the way. But then 5 months down the line, I got my very first project. It was from an NGO. Loved it so much. Delivered, got really good money. The very first time I got my own data money, I looked at my bank and I said, nobody has ever paid me this amount of money. Even if I worked for 6 months as a digital marketing consultant, I would never have made this kind of money. It was a lot of money. And I said, you know what? I'm going to stay here. Obviously for the check and obviously for the passion. I really loved it. It was stressful, but I really, really loved it. I still do. Now I have pivoted back again to tech. I'm even tired as I tell you this story. So now I am in tech. Tech is so wide. So now I have pivoted. Now I'm in data science. And so when I'm in data science, now I'm pivoting again. Like, what do I want to do in data science? Do I want to be a product data scientist? Do I want to be a marketing data scientist? Do I want to be in finance? Do I want to be in HR? Like, what do I want to do at this very moment? So at first, because I had a digital marketing background, I said, you know what? Let me try marketing analytics. Yeah, I don't want to be a marketing analyst. I would get like gigs here and there for marketing analytics. They were really good. Loved them. But then in my heart I was like, yeah, you know what, I really don't want to be here. So I decided that I'm gonna work with 1 million data sets, and then I'm gonna decide where I want to be. So after a very, 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 very long time of searching and being tired and decision, one time I worked with a finance data set, and I cannot explain to you the feeling, but it's the same feeling I got when I decided that I wanted to be in data. I said, I like this thing. I like the thrill of being here. This is what I like, and this is what I'm going to work towards. But now during that time, I was not working, so I was broke. So I did not have money to do certifications. I know when you're in finance, you have to do certifications because nobody is going to take you seriously when you do not have certification. More so, the globally recognized, the ACCAs, all those things. Nobody's going to take you seriously because of that. So by that time, I did not have any money. But then I'm reading at that time. I'm showing up for interviews, and I would pass. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this with no fear of contradiction. I have never failed a technical interview for finance. Ever since I started interviewing for financial analytics role, I've never failed a technical interview for finance. The only thing that used to make me not get the roles was because I did not have any certification. So I decided to get certification. And not to do that, what did I decide to do? To go back to writing so that I can get money and pay for the certifications. And basically that's what I did. All that is to say, I pivoted to finance. When now I pivot to finance, oh, you think it's over? No, it's not over. Because now when you get into finance now is very wide. Do you want to be an investment banker? Do you want to be a credit analyst? Are you going to work in banks? Do you want to work in startups? Do you want to be a financial planning and analyst? Do you just want to be a financial modeler? Do you want to do auditing? It's a lot of moving parts. Already, the bigger umbrella is you're in tech. Now you're going down. The big umbrella is you're in tech. Yes, you're in data science. Now you're in finance. So what in finance do you want to do? And then I said, you know what? I want to be in fintech. Then I said that in finance, I'm going to be in fintech. So I just want to be a fintech industry professional. But then I can't go to fintech if I don't understand traditional finance. So I have to start at traditional finance. Hence, financial modeling and valuation analyst. That's currently what I'm doing right now. Eventually I'm going to go to fintech. And then I decided that, oh yeah, I also want to do CFA. Even after I've pivoted here, I'm still going to pivot again and go to CFA. And then a master's in data science and AI doesn't look really bad, because yeah, I want to be a data scientist in just finance. I mean, and so because of all those pivoting, all that fatigue caught up with me last week. Basically, that's the long shot of this video. The pivoting fatigue got to me this week. Like the years and years of pivoting finally caught up with me, because when you're pivoting, sometimes you're learning so much, like you're starting over so many times. It looks like, okay, you're basically not starting over, but like kuna a lot of corners, like you're just cutting a lot of moving parts and whatever. And so now I'm here reading annual reports, and which I really love, I really do enjoy. I started even sharing on LinkedIn again my journey, and I love it, and I love being here, and I wouldn't take anything else from my journey, because taking anything else from my journey means that I would get a different outcome, and I actually do love this outcome. It's just that it's not making sense. It's not started making sense. It's not a place where I can look back and say, I'm glad I chose this path. I'm still trusting the process. I'm in it, enjoying the process, because to me the journey is really the destination. So there's nowhere you get and you say, oh yeah, I've gotten to that. So yeah, in the long short and form of things, I've really been struggling with that this week. I was like, I've pivoted too much. Like, I've pivoted so much. I mean, intentionally, it's calculated, but like, it's also a lot. At some point, like, yeah, this process really needs to start trusting me. And and the thing that makes the pivoting really crazy is because, I told you I'm good at writing, and sometimes I do get writing roles. Even when I'm in tech, I will get writing roles. Sometimes technical writing, sometimes just writing. And I realized that writing to me is a blessing, but also could be a curse, because it's the very thing that I run towards. When tech is not working, I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to stress with you guys, let me go and work. And then I decide to go and become a writer, and then I see the checks of being a writer, and then I realize that wow, this is not going to give me the kind of life that I want. It could be a hobby, yes, but like, no, I need to be. So basically that's been my week, pivoting, fatigue and whatever. Right now I'm feeling so much better. Don't start advising me and encouraging me. I'm already encouraged. By the time I do this video, just know I'm encouraged. I started rewiring my brain this week, and I started saying, you know what, maybe all that pivoting really actually, and this is my takeaway home from my own story, maybe this pivoting really shows that I am a curious person, and I am willing to explore different things. I'm truly grateful that I found a home, finance. I'm also truly grateful that I know what I want. It's just that it hasn't started making sense yet, which I don't expect it to make sense right now. I'm still in school. Do I regret going to media school? No. If anything, and I'm going to say this, being a journalism student and being a media student, a print media student who transitioned to tech, it has given me a competitive edge of some sort, because the career that I'm in, basically, that in data, whether it's in finance or whatever, the whole essence of data is more or less like journalism. The way in journalism you need to have a nose for news, which I really did have, and I still do. You have a nose for news, and you really need to be a good storyteller, and you need to know what information to put in a story. You're not going to tell everybody anything. Those are transferable skills right now in data, because like, even when I see a dashboard, even when I make a dashboard, I know what's going to make news in the boardroom. I know how to tell a story. I know how to tell a crisis story. I know how to tell a story. Now I'm just basically just telling stories with numbers, because in journalism you're taught dog bites man, that is not news. Cut the show. Man bites dog, that is news. We need to read that. Yeah, basically that's what I'm saying. So it's really shaped even how I do my things, how I do my presentations, even like how I'm doing my presentation, because even when you're in journalism school, you're also taught about like audience retention, public speaking. So those are not things that I really do struggle with when it comes to tech. I know how to write. I know my 4 W's. Was it 4 or 5? Who, what, when, why? Oh, 4 W's and 1 H. Who, what, when, why, how. And that is basically data. That's basically the whole essence of data storytelling. So, and even when you're telling people things, like, you should know your audience, what story to tell which audience. The story, even as a data analyst, the story that you're going to tell the marketing team is not the same story that you're going to tell shareholders. It's just like that. So do I regret going to media school? Never. If I went back, I would still do it. I'm telling you, I would do it the same again. I would go to media school, because there are things that are now coming easy to me as someone who transitioned, that if I just went to take like directly, I don't think the learning curve would have been a bit steep. But now, even when I'm in data, the things that I really need to learn the most is just the technical skills, because all the other skills I do have them, so I don't regret it at all. The whole point of this video is to tell you, maybe it's just one person or maybe none, that if you feel that you've pivoted so much and you still haven't found where you want to be, if you're feeling like you're tired, you're very stressed, and like the fatigue is much, just know that it's very normal, because pivoting is not an easy thing, because you've pivoted a lot and you feel like, when will I ever settle? Just keep going. Keep thinking until you find a breakthrough, and keep showing up as well, because maybe you're just a curious mind and maybe you just refuse to settle, and that's okay. I'm not going to be in a career that doesn't bring me joy, because if the lifespan is at 70, that means that I'm going to use I don't know how many years waking up and going to do things that I don't like and I don't enjoy. No. So I'm sharing this video in case you feel like you've pivoted so much, or maybe you are afraid to pivot. Pivot, because at the end of the day, damned if you do, damned if you don't. There's really nothing that is really easy. So like, if you're just out there and you feel like you've pivoted so much, that you feel like you've been left behind, I just want you to know that you've not been left behind. You're just becoming. And the process of becoming, I keep on saying this every single time, it's literally very difficult. The process of becoming anything really that you want to become, like whether you want to be a financial analyst, you want to be a digital marketing, you want to have your agency, you want to be a rich mom, a rich aunt, the process of becoming is definitely very difficult. At some point, you're just going to pause and question and be like, so you've not been left behind, you're not indecisive, maybe you're just curious enough, to just explore all these other options. Don't explore too much, Joropia, extremism, this end of the spectrum and this other end of the spectrum, not really good. Wewe ka in a really safe place, but you're not behind. Let me just be the one to tell you that if you feel like you've pivoted so much, you're not behind. I know the thing about pivoting is that the moment you figure out where you want to be, even if you're going to pivot within that circle, like for example, me now, I'm pivoting around finance a lot. Once you figure out where you want to be, it's never now a matter of if. It's not like, for me right now, it's not a matter of what if I ever become an employed financial analyst. No. Right now, it's just a matter of when, and that's really comforting. So give yourself permission to feel challenged. Give yourself permission to feel challenged without quitting, even when you're pivoting. Okay, so don't give up. Stay delusional. Stay consistent. Joke about it. Let consistency and delusion guide you. If you watched this video up to this point, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being on my channel. Please follow me on LinkedIn. I make jokes there, because no matter what happens in life, it is important that we are funny about it. Above all else, commit to that bit. And now I have to go back to class, because there's an annual report that I'm supposed to be reading. Aki, you should see how these things really do make me happy, because when you're in finance analytics, if this is somebody who's watching me and is in finance, please make a habit of reading the annual reports, because what that does is it trains your analytical eye, and then you get to understand businesses very well. Your finance intuition also becomes really high. I am wishing you a really amazing week. Stay consistent, be delusional with your dreams. If you find that you need to pivot, please pivot. It's tiring, but what is easy in this life? Really, absolutely nothing. So pivot as many times as you can. If you find yourself in a career that you don't really like, pivot. I didn't say quit. Hey, I didn't say quit. I said pivot. Find a way to pivot. You're an adult now. You can make your own decisions. So thank you so much, and goodbye.